The worn-out ball bounced between the high schoolers. The bright sun shined down on the court and its players. Volleyball was one of Connie Della's favorite sports in high school. Life wouldn't always be this simple, though. It all changed when Japanese invaded the Philippines in 1941. 10 hours after the attack on Pearl Harbor, the Japanese army attacked the Philippines from the north. The Philippines was a perfect strategic island chain for Japan to control. They pushed all the way down to Manila with little resistance, capturing most of the important cities and villages on their way. They met little resistance as they pushed down, and the Americans had retreated to regroup. For the most part, we were on our own, she said. The Japanese would often pass through towns. They would never set up camps or anything, just walk through it. The U.S. posted scouts on the roads. The scouts would alert another man in the town with radios. He would run from door to door and yell that Japanese are coming. Me and my family would drop all of our things, turn off any lights, and make our way up the mountain. If we left things on, the Japanese would know that people still lived there, and would look for them. As it became obvious that the Japanese were losing the conflict, they began destroying infrastructure and razing cities. After the war, there weren't many jobs. All of the jobs had disappeared. Most of the work was focused around fixing what was broken by the war. In the meantime, my father received a government pension, like many other Filipinos. It was enough money to support me and my sisters. None of us had jobs, so we just helped with the housework. After me and my sisters were done cooking and cleaning, we would meet with the others from around the village and play volleyball together. After the war, Connie lived like that for 5 years. In 1950, she married her husband, QUINTEN. He was a chef in the U.S. Navy and was deployed again soon after the wedding. His service granted them with citizenship in the U.S., an offer they took. The Philippines wasn't a safe place anymore. There was a lot of human trafficking and gang violence going on. In 1952, I got onto the boat. It had 3 levels. The lowest level was where we all slept. Around 200 people lived on that boat. It made stops in Hong Kong, Honolulu, and finally San Francisco. When she arrived at San Francisco, her husband's service was over and he drove her down to San Diego. A few weeks after I got to San Diego, I got a job sewing clothes in downtown. I would work for 9 hours a day in the factory, but the pay was much better than any of the jobs in the Philippines. As I worked at the factory, my husband worked as a chef in a hospital. Eventually, me and my husband put our money together to buy a house. It seemed the American dream was more true than we had believed.